The year is 1983. The world shivers in the grip of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union, two superpowers, are locked in a dangerous standoff. Nuclear arsenals cast a long shadow. Fear and mistrust hang heavy in the air. The threat of annihilation is a chilling reality. In this volatile climate, a delicate balance holds the world hostage. Every word, every action, every gesture is scrutinized. The fate of humanity hangs precariously on a knife's edge. One wrong move, one miscalculation, could trigger an unimaginable catastrophe. The world watches, waits, and worries. The consequences of a nuclear confrontation are too terrible to contemplate. It is a time of great peril, a time when the very survival of humankind hangs in the balance. Deep within a secret bunker far from the public eye, a man stands watch. His name is Stanislav Petrov, a lieutenant colonel in the Soviet Air Defense Forces. He is a dedicated soldier entrusted with a grave responsibility. Petrov is tasked with monitoring the Soviet Union's early warning system for nuclear attacks. His eyes are constantly glued to the screens, his fingers hovering over the controls. He knows that the fate of his nation, perhaps even the world, could rest on his shoulders. He understands the weight of his duty. He is a guardian, a silent sentinel, standing watch over his people, his country, his world. He is the first line of defense against unimaginable destruction. He never imagined that he would be faced with a decision that could determine the fate of humanity. But fate, it seems, had other plans. September 26, 1983. The early hours of the morning are shattered by the piercing wail of sirens. Inside the bunker, red lights flash ominously. Petrov's blood runs cold. The unthinkable has happened. The computer system screams its warning. Missile launch detected. Petrov's heart pounds in his chest. His mind races. The computer system is sophisticated, designed to be infallible. But could it be wrong? Could this be a terrible mistake? The tension in the bunker is suffocating. Every second seems like an eternity. Petrov knows he has to act fast. The fate of the world hangs in the balance. His training kicks in. He takes a deep breath and forces himself to remain calm. He needs to assess the situation before he acts. Section 4. The Impossible Dilemma. Trust the machine or trust your gut. More alarms blare. The computer system reports multiple launches. 5 missiles, then 10, then more, are hurtling towards the Soviet Union. According to the data, there can be no doubt. The United States has launched a nuclear attack. Petrov is torn. The evidence seems overwhelming. All his training, all his instincts tell him to report the attack, to unleash the Soviet Union's own devastating nuclear arsenal in retaliation. But something doesn't feel right. Deep down, a sliver of doubt lingers in his mind. The attack seems too sudden, too large-scale. Could the Americans really be launching a first strike? Could this be a catastrophic error? He is caught in an impossible dilemma. Should he trust the cold logic of the machine, or should he trust his gut, his intuition? Section 5. A Decision for Humanity, Petrov's Courage. The weight of the world rests on Petrov's shoulders. He knows that if he reports the attack, it will trigger a chain reaction that could lead to the end of civilization as we know it. The Soviet Union will retaliate, the United States will respond in kind, the result will be a full-scale nuclear war, a war that would leave no winners, only devastation and loss. Time seems to stand still. Petrov closes his eyes, takes a deep breath and makes a decision that could alter the course of history. He will not report the attack. He will trust his gut. He will defy the machines. He will place his faith in humanity. He knows that he is risking everything, his career, his freedom, perhaps even his life, but he does not hesitate. He stands firm in his belief. He is a soldier, sworn to protect his country, but he is also a human being and he cannot bring himself to unleash such unimaginable horror upon the world. He chooses to act with compassion. In that moment of extraordinary courage, Stanislav Petrov chooses peace over paranoia. He chooses hope over fear. He chooses life over death. His decision echoes through time, a testament to the power of human conscience. Section 6. The truth revealed. A hero in the shadows. The minutes that follow are the longest of Petrov's life. He waits, his heart pounding in his chest, for the world to erupt in nuclear fire. Every second feels like an eternity, as he battles the overwhelming fear and uncertainty. But the fire never comes. The missiles never arrive. The computer system, it turns out, was wrong. The threat that loomed so large was nothing more than a phantom. It had misinterpreted a harmless satellite reflection as a nuclear attack. A simple error, but one that could have had catastrophic consequences. The world breathes a collective sigh of relief. The tension that had gripped everyone dissipates, replaced by an overwhelming sense of gratitude and relief. But the truth of Petrov's actions remains a closely guarded secret. The magnitude of his decision and the weight of the responsibility he bore is known to only a few. The Soviet Union, eager to avoid embarrassment, covers up the incident. They bury the truth, hiding it from the world. Petrov is quietly reassigned and fades into obscurity. His heroic act, unrecognized and unrewarded, becomes just another secret in the annals of history. Years pass. The Cold War ends, the Soviet Union collapses, the world changes in ways unimaginable, yet Petrov's story remains hidden, and still, the world remains oblivious to the debt it owes to the man who single-handedly prevented a nuclear apocalypse. His sacrifice, his bravery remain unknown. It is not until 1998, 15 years after that fateful night, that Petrov's story finally emerges. The world is stunned, the revelation is met with disbelief and awe. Here is a true hero, a man who saved humanity from itself, and yet his story has remained untold for all these years. Finally, the world recognizes the quiet courage of Stanislav Petrov. Section 7. Petrov's Legacy, a Timeless Lesson in Peace. Stanislav. Petrov's story is a powerful reminder of the fragility of peace. In a world teetering on the brink of disaster, his actions stand as a beacon of hope and reason. It is a testament to the courage of one man who, faced with an impossible choice, chose to follow his conscience and save the world. Petrov's decision was not just a moment of bravery, but a profound act of humanity. His legacy is a profound one. It transcends borders and generations, reminding us of the power of individual action in the face of overwhelming odds. It teaches us that even in the darkest of times, hope remains. The smallest acts of courage can have the most significant impacts. It reminds us that one person can make a difference. Petrov's story is a powerful example of how individual choices can alter the course of history, and it underscores the urgent need for dialogue, understanding, and peace in a world still grappling with the threat of nuclear annihilation. The lessons from Petrov's actions are more relevant today than ever. Petrov's story is a timeless lesson in humanity. It speaks to the core of what it means to be human, to choose compassion over conflict. It is a call to action for all of us to work towards a future free from the shadow of nuclear war. We must strive to build a world where such decisions are no longer necessary. It is a reminder that peace is not a passive state, but an active choice we must make every single day. Each of us has a role to play in this ongoing effort. The world owes a debt of gratitude to Stanislav Petrov, the man who stopped World War III. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come.